late by like 30 seconds over 1 minute. Yeah, I'm good. Today is the 26th. And I'm good. I think I would say I'm in perfect condition. Whenever you wake up and you can do almost everything that you would want to do, you thank God because you're healthy. There are people that are struggling for their life. I think the habit of having gratitude is one thing. I think ani yali atubuuza how to have peace of mind. Someone was asking like how do I get peace of mind? Probably that's one way. When good morning Charles, long time. Yeah, so someone, hi Martha. Yes, Martha Academy. Actually the day you said that name, the name was stuck in my head. I went home and I kept saying Martha Academy, Martha Academy, Martha Academy, and it's a nice name. It's something that the kids will enjoy saying. Like, where do you go to school? I go to Martha Academy. I go to Martha Academy. Yeah. So day 26 omwezi gwa February mugata kuzi enaku asatu mulumu. We have traveled 57 days into the year 2023, and if you had goals set, now is the time for you to ask yourself how far you have gone with achieving them. And yeah, so today we're going to be talking about why you should never overhaul, why you should never rebuild your engine. Now, when I talk about overhauling and rebuilding, wano mu Uganda tukiita kusiba engine. Yes, and I personally think it should not be your thing anymore. It should not be our thing anymore. Ebyokusiba engine tubyesonyiire ddala. Let the mechanic not lie to you that because it's cheaper by a few shillings, that it's something that you should consider. If your engine overheats and probably it needs just a gasket, okay, and it needs just a gasket and refacing of the cylinder head, that's something you can do. That's not rebuilding. But these things of mechanics telling you, mbo your engine kati enywa oil, let us put new piston rings, let us put new valve seals. You get okay, valve seals, but still valve seals, because I'm not into that thing. We live in an age where engines are very cheap to buy. Whatever ka Probox aka for example, that's a very nice car. Actually, another Probox is going up ahead of me. That's a Probox still. Now that Probox has the same engine that is in my car, the Toyota Corolla. It's the same engine that you'll find in Spacios, the 1.5cc. It's the same engine you'll find in the Toyota Fielders, 1.5cc. It's the same engine you'll find in the Toyota Alex, 1.5cc. Ochiraba anti engine eyo erimu moroka mpitirivu. Okay? So, it means that the guys that import cars are bringing, the cars that import spares are bringing these engines in huge numbers. After overhauling, it may work for a short time and then fail again. It always fails in a short time. Let me tell you, makanika bwakulima mbu agenda kusiba engine yekole yebbanga, gwe mubuuze egenda kukola bbanga ki, ajja kugamba ejja kukola omwaka. Every time a Ugandan person mugirabe x-ray efiridde ku kkubo, mbagambe mmotoka ezo muziveeko naye temumpuliriza. Anyway, when a Ugandan gives you a guarantee of 1 year, naddala mu bintu ebyo ebyokkanika manya egyo giri myezi nga 6. Speaking out of experience, I've personally, from the time I started driving my first Chibina in 2010, then I drove a Caldina, then I drove a Chikumi G Touring. There is a time I overhauled a Nyongeza, that high jet, nekakola weeks 2 nekafuwa. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I'm telling you, that engine worked for 2 weeks and it smoked again. After talking about Nissan, is the Nissan hardbody manual reliable? It's a good car, but I buy the Hilux, guys. Buy the Hilux. Hardbody is very expensive to keep on the road. Very expensive to keep on the road. And it has, compared to the Hilux will give you back your value for your money. Even when you're reselling, you'll get your money back faster than and in plenty more than the hardbody guy. Don't buy the hardbody if you can afford the Toyota Hilux. Yeah, spares are too expensive for the hardbody, so I wouldn't actually recommend that you buy a hardbody any day. Or at least I take Bramoba Mitsubishi L200, which take it. Anyway, back to overhauling. I used to overhaul my Chivina, and the mechanics use it as a ploy to steal your money. Because Omanyi, you can be having 2 million on your account, and once you touch 600, yeah, you have touched 600. So you're going to keep touching on that money because you don't want to use all your money. But let me tell you, we live in an age where buying a new engine, a used engine, Japan used engine, is actually not that expensive. I'll give you an example. The engine that sits in my car is a 1NZFE. This engine will cost me about 2 million to buy. Akawanga, kebaita akawanga. Now akakawanga, you don't get it with an alternator. You don't get it with a self starter. Those extra things that are put on the engine, you don't get that engine with those things. But you get the kawanga, which is the most important thing, where the oil goes and the pistons are and all that. That's what they call the kawanga. Now the kawanga for my engine will cost me 2 million. I'm going to put it very soon. The kawanga for the 3S, the ones that is normally in the RAV4, old model, and the Ipsum and some Chibinas, will cost you about 2.5 kawanga still. But now I want you to know that by buying that kawanga, you're giving your car a new life. Chances are high you're buying an engine that had, by the time they probably put it out of its car, it had about 100,000 kilometers on it. It probably had even 50k. Now that engine is almost new. It's not a block. No. The engine block is half of the engine. Akawanga kabako buli kimu silinda okuva kusinda head paka eno wansi ku cranks. It's a full engine. It's just that teina bino bye basako the extras, teina self starter, teina alternator, teina what other thing goes there. Obwo buntu obulala bwe basibako obusibijjeke. Okitegeera, the engine without accessories kebayita akawanga jeke. Okitegeera, let me park somewhere and kulage kebayita akawanga, because it's the important thing mu engine. Without it, era bwe bagamba nti engine ebiseera ebisinga ne bagamba nti engine enamba ya million 6, engine eyo ebaako ebintu byonna. Okitegeera, naye nga you can bargain ne bajjako ebintu byabwe. Because bajja kugamba nti the alternator is 400,000, bagambe self is 250, bakugambe bichi. We are going to see what other thing comes with it. I'm going to pack somewhere and look at it. But akawanga konga koso kusanga you can bargain. Never ever ogula engine ya super custom, for example, bajja kugamba a full engine of a super custom is 12 million. Never kugambe bobo ogula akawanga oyinza okafuna ku million nga 8 oba 7 kitundu. Okitegeera kyokka bagambe ate okusiba engine ya super custom bagisibire million 4. Okitegeera, but maki basiba engine eyo eyinza obutatereera. Nabagamba nasibako engine ya Primogen navuga before this Corolla. The engine negaana okutereera nenga kati nkoze byaki. Okitegeera, and that's the last engine I ever tried to overhaul. I'm never going to do it again. Okitegeera, I'm always going to collect money at least where wala sente n'ogula engine empya omulundi gumu n'ogituuza mu n'omanya tokiddamu. Okitegeera. Yeah, for starters, why you don't want to overhaul your engine is that our mechanics betetenkanya, majority of them tebasoma. Olaba abasawo abasoma bebetetenkanya nga yagenda n'asoma medicine naye n'omusanga yetetenkanyiza ku mulwadde. Okitegeera, and mark you, even naffe mu malwaliro gye tugenda, abasawo abasinga batetenkanya butetenkanya, n'akuba empiso olumu wayitalina genda omuntu n'afa. olumu nawe eddagala effu omuntu n'afa. They do tests wrongly, omuntu n'afa. You get? So you can imagine if a person that went to medical school for 7 years, omuntu agenda to medical school for 7 years and they end up killing people, not intentionally of course, but because of mistakes they make that they ideally should not make. I find that in my field, for example, nze mukatembo wange nze teri mistake gyenkola nga sigiraba. Sometimes I let those things pass because of budget issues. Nengamba naye sirina sente zikola kino kankireke kigende. You'll find that probably even doctors do akikola kigende katulabe kinagenda mu maaso, which is a very bad thing because unlike me zali ku stage, the only thing I'm slaughtering is the play. For example, when I'm shooting a film, the only thing I'm slaughtering is probably the lighting of the movie. Naye ate doctor bw'abeera akutute mu theater, the doctor is slaughtering your life. Nti bwa compromising on anything, they are slaughtering your life. Okitegeera. And olaba kati abasawo abasomye yasoma emyaka 7 n'agenda ku medical practice Mulago n'akolerayo emyaka 2, olaba abo abantu batta abantu. You can imagine a doctor, a mechanic eyajja mu garage for 2 years ne bamuyigiriza okusiba emisumaali n'alaba abasiba yingini abamusingako nga bagisiba. Just imagine what they are going to do to that engine. Abamu n'amagezi tebalina. I will tell you, mechanic abamu tebalina na bwongo. Okitegeera, you can imagine the time that my engine was making a sound when I was filled. And nekola sound, I could clearly hear the sound was at cylinder head. But I nenchamako ku garage akamu. I was on Hoima Road. Nenchamako ku garage akamu nenga kanebuza ku bano ba mechanic and abebache bagamba. Can you imagine a mechanic told me the engine has blown? Nangabe kubye izo kubye piston nga 4 nga 3. Obakale kubyeko ebifo 2. Ekubye ojja kuba n'omukisa singa kutuusa Kampala. But it was clear the oil wasn't going up. It was clear that the cylinder head was making sound. Era when we went to my mechanic, nagamba omanyi what we're going to do, let's wash the katimba. Era n'asumulula cranks, akatimba kali kachaafu nnyo ne bakooza ne bazzaamu oil. Engine yaddamu n'esirika ng'eringa empya. Okitegeera, actually n'esirika n'okusinga bwe yali before. It means that the oil wasn't going through the sieve. Okitegeera, so it wasn't going with as much pressure as it should go. Okitegeera, so bamakanika abamu basiru ate bamakanika abo mu kyalo kyobula banalimba gamba don't buy a car from the village 35 kilometers or away ng'omuntu gy'abeera nga tavuga moroka najja mu kibuga nga Arthur bwavuga najja mu kibuga buli lunaku, because I drive 35 kilometers every day go to town, 35 kilometers back to my village. Okitegeera, naye bw'osanga omuntu ng'abeera eno ewange gy'embeera ng'akolera era eno gye wali akaduuka ke, oyo omuntu tomugulaako mu motoka. Ebiseera ebisinga moroka ejja kutawaanya. Okitegeera, ojja gisangamu ebirwadde bingi because bamakanika b'omu kyalo abasinga batetenkanya nnyo. Okitegeera, so the same thing happens. One of my greatest losses in a car repairs was when I overhauled my Land Cruiser 78. I spent more than cost of the new engine. I learned exactly ndoza je coach rabi. Some even make the engine worse. Exactly katingoli ya kwata mu engine yange ya primo nayo nona nyonone. Okitegeera, I think mechanically mostly practical experience. Thank classroom. Sikategedeka statement cost to what man. I am a Grotewara Biseko. You're welcome. Yeah, overhauling an engine. You see, buying a new engine can seem like it's expensive because mechanic ajja kugamba engine epea milioni 10 netsobola okukozesa milioni 3 netugisiba neeterera ebyawa senga bali basobola sigari esobola okuterera nga bagisiba neri bali badde tebagitunda milioni 10. Okitegeera, you see, for example, in Ndeba, Chiseka and other places where the importers bring these engines, they have good engines. And sometimes you don't even pay until you're satisfied with how it sounds, you're satisfied with how it emits. When you put a new engine in your car, you're guaranteed about 10 more years of driving that engine custody servicing bulungi without trouble. That's one thing you need to know. Makanika bw'avuga nti engine ya milioni 10 gwe mugambe naye weetambulireko gendako mu Ndeba, gendako ewa Kiseka obuuze engine y'emmotoka eno ya sente mmeka, so that you also get your own picture. Yesterday I was telling you things. One thing you need to know nti bamakanika baffe bagatta sente mu buli kimu. nze makaniko wange olumu agatta ssente mu kintu nemmanya ne muganda omuga kati awo ogassemu naye itsoke nange naafuna bwengattamu okitegeera because ebintu bino byansi. And if you realize majority of the time omuntu bwagatta abantu katugeze betulowooza nti batubba ne bwakubba emirundi emeka talina nnyo gy'alaga. Sente eziri gain dishonestly tezirina nnyo kyezikolera abantu ebiseera ebisinga. I don't know why it happens like that. Okitegeera, with this rapid change in tech, mechanics need to update their knowledge to stay on top of their game. However, many don't even care about research. Bakola bikwate. Yeah, anti abasinga tebasoma. The issue with the industry in yaba mechanica is majority of our mechanics are people that fail to get school fees to take them to, let's say, senior 6, senior 5, or people that stopped in P7. People that come from families that could not afford school fees are the people fixing our cars. Chitegeza abamu ne common sense mutono, abamu exposure ntono, okitegeera. Kati tamanyi emoroka ze bamu, so that's why you find that majority of mechanics don't even know what a VVTi engine is. Majority of mechanics will actually tell you. There is a mechanic in Kasanga named Kama Katondo. There is a mechanic in Kasanga. Before I bought my VITs Generaliva in 2018, yangamba togezano gule moroka ya VVTi izamba sanyalaze manji zitawanya nenga bombuza ziyaka kanikanga takanikanga yo nemu nenga byawulira byakolaki byawulira byayogera byawulira boogera nti moroka z'amasanyaza amanji mbi tagikanikangako nenjigule moroka yo nenjivuga emyaka ebiri nga sigifunye mbuzi bunge ebyafanga. Of course there were strange things, gear lever nefa okitegeera kino ekintu kya indicator nekifa, the indicator switch okitegeera naye nga tasobola kugamba nti yali akanise ku moroka eyo. Guys, excuse me, let me buy bananas here. Atabani bantu bali anyame kamba guliyo ku menvu one, and it's one way for us to actually improve their immunity. So compare akenvu akabiri. So why you don't need, the first reason for you to not overhaul your engine, because new engines over Japan used engines are actually cheap. Japan used engines are cheap to buy. Japan used engines are cheap to buy. Nkugamba enze engine eyange yo moroka eno yegenda mu Alex, yegenda mu Fielder ya 1.5, yegenda mu Spacio ya 1.5, yegenda mu, of course Sienta nazo ya 1NZ na hizi ina the new version of this engine ya milioni 2 akawanga, and you don't need to change everything. Okitegeera, right? No. Actually, the good thing is I've packed. Let me actually open up the engine in Kulage. Jiki, let me open up the engine. Let me open the hood and I show you what I mean. Blocker. Jeki gwechogamba nti blocker. Osobola okugula blocker, but it's not worth it anymore. Era bw'ogula blocker obanga akoze overhaul. But what I'm saying is that ogula akawanga kumpi obuguze engine. Akawanga ye engine, by the way. So let's just see what I mean. So okay, and the rest of the guys, sorry about my data engine. This was an engine making a sense. So engine, this kino kyonna kyonna they consider it to be the full engine. Era bw'ogamba nti ogenda gula engine eri complete, bino byonna oba ogenda bigulirako. Naye bw'oba ogenda kugula akawanga, kino tekijjirako, alternator tejjirako, wali wansi AC pump tejjirako, self tejjirako, okitegeera, bino tebijjirako, anything that is connected, kyeba connectingako obu connectings. Kati akawanga katandikira wano, olaba wano, bino byonna bijjeeko. Ezo puli zonna puli ezo nga bw'oziraba tezijjirako jeke, okitegeera. Anything that is connected nga kigendako bugenzi, ezo pump eyo AC pump bino byonna tewali kijjirako. Kaba kawanga okuva wano, of course ne cylinder head bino byonna bijjirako paka eri wansi, then kajja paka wano wabwenkutaawo. Everything else that can be connected, sensors zonna tezijjirako. Sensors zonna akolaki azijjako mbusimanya biki, ojjayo kawanga oddira sensors ezizo n'oddira bino ebisekeseke bino byonna n'oddira pump zo n'oddira eno bagiyita bati this alternator, self yo byoteekako, okitegeera. Naye nga senga obadde ogula a full engine, bagisitula yonna, because if you went to Chiseka market and try to see what they have as a full engine, ojja kusanga nga everything here nga bw'obiraba self biki byonna biba bikyaliko nga bikyaliko, okitegeera. Naye bw'oba ogenda kugula akawanga obuwanga byonna tebijjirako, era okaleeta n'okatuuzaamu n'omala n'osibako bino, okitegeera. That's why it's cheap, kubanga bajja kugamba nti for example alternate eyo ogiraba, bajja kugamba alternate ya mitwalo 25, bamale bagambe self eyo ogiraba, bagambe self eyo ya mitwalo 3, okitegeera. Bamale bagambe nti AC pump ya mitwalo 5, okitegeera. Kati ebyo ebintu bw'obigattagatta ne busensa obubeera awo n'ebyo bipulipuli bw'obigattagatta, bagambe nti bikola miliyoni nga 2.5, okitegeera. Kati nga ze sente ezo ezongezaamu nti engine akawanga bagenda kukaguza miliyoni 2, naye nga bw'oba ogula full engine bagenda kugamba nti ojja gigula miliyoni 5 oba 6. Otegedde lwaki bakibala bwe batyo jekke. So that's why you can bargain and you actually save some money, okitegeera. Ekisooka overhauling an engine, whenever you overhaul or whenever you rebuild an engine, because bwe bagamba nti bagenda kusiba engine bagenda gisumulula yonna bagizibali, batandika okugamba kyekifu. Bagambe of course bwe bagenda kusiba engine rings balina ozigula, balina okugula valve seals, okitegeera. Rings, valve seals ebyo bagenda bigula, ebyo it's a must. Then bakugambe nti bagenda kebera emikono, balaba temuli mukono gunyenya, emikono egya piston. Then if mulimu omukono ogunyenya bagaye tugenda gunywere, then bakebera bati kuli piston nfu. Then bwe namala bakebere joyce engine block jekke, temuli wagaziwa, temuli lwatika, okitegeera. Eyisamu bulungi amazzi, bwe banaasanga nga ebyo byonna biramu, olwo balyoke bagule biri bye bagambye okugula, bakole kye balina okukola bazzeewo. Bwe banaamala olumba bajja kugamba tugende esinda head bakole ki, bagiwagale. Bwe banaamala bakugambe nti we have to get the shaft bagisale, ebisere bagisala balina weetuuka nga tekyayongerayo. All that is for nothing, because at the end of the day that engine, the more you rebuild the engine, the more vulnerable it becomes, okitegeera. Bakugambe for example, you see my engine is 2 million, then bagenda kugamba to rebuild that engine is 1 million. Boche babala nti you're saving aka 1 ma. That's their selling point, that by selling that ka 1 ma you find that the rebuilding an engine is actually cheaper than buying the other engine. Yet actually buying a new engine it's like buying a new heart your body when your heart is broken. Okitegeera baga nti bagenda kukola operation mu mutima. It's better for if you can get a new heart and an operation can be done to remove the old heart, bakuteekemu omutima omupya, okitegeera. Of course medically I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if it makes sense medically, but what I'm saying, mubye motoka mechanically, putting a new engine is like you putting a new heart in yourself. Nti emotoka ibo ebadde ne mileage ya kilometer emitwalo 3. For example, my car has a mileage of 255,000 kilometers, but the new engine I'm going to put in there, I'll look at the documents definitely, but it's possible that I'll get an engine that has 6,000 kilometers, over 10,000 kilometers. Omanye emotoka bwoba ogiziza obupya, mbanga avuga omuntu aguze emotoka ya government nga yakatambula emitwalo 3 eba mpya, okitegeera nti as long as I service it, it's better. So it's not worth it. You save a little money, but in the end of the day engine bagenda gisiba ekinene nnyo ejjavuga emyaka 2 babenga balina okuddamu okukola ki, okugisiba. This takes us to the point bulijjo gye mbagamba, don't buy a car that you cannot replace, okitegeera. Because if you can replace your car, you can definitely buy a new engine for your car. Ebiseera ebisinga abantu abasiba engine agenda okukiraba ng'okugula emmotoka endala bwetyo kya bbeeyimu, okugula engine era tabisobola naga ne lwakisisiba, because bamubaliramu ng'asevinga. Gwe buli wagulanga emmotoka nga okusiba engine kikulabikira ng'ekiri cheap, kitegeeza emmotoka eyo tolina kugigula, gulayo akamotoka akali cheap, ng'okugula kayingine kaako tekajja kumenya. But of course there are older cars that have very expensive engines. Now imagine buying a starlet engine. Ojja kwesanga okugula engine ya starlet kya bbeeyi okusinga okugula engine y'emmotoka yange, so ng'ate emmotoka yange ya bbeeyi okusinga starlet. Nti starlet ne bw'ono gisaamu engine empya etya, starlet yalina ebbeeyi gyekomako miliyoni nga 5-6, ekinene nnyo. Ate starlet ya miliyoni 6 erina kuba mpya. Era zino mbalaba abantu nga posting izo study milioni 10 olwokubiri ku echungo ngogula ki nga ne vitize ya UHS awe ntuzula tekyali ku milioni 10 ontegera kye ngamba nti milioni 10 sawa eno UHS study oba oguze bubi. You get what I'm saying? I mean vitize oba oguze bubi. So overhauling your engine, first of all, it looks cheap but it's not worth it. The maximum you can drive an overhauled engine is 2 years. Eddemu efe okitegeera. So nga ate you put a new engine, you can drive it for 10 and more years kasita servicing bulungi. Ekyokubiri bamakanika baffe tuboogedeko ne tugamba beetetenkanya. Majority of them yagalagana simanyi oba kuno kuliko makanika naye majority of the mechanics between e Kampala be baabulwa fees ezibongerayo ne bamutwala mu garage ayige. Correct me if I'm wrong. Majority of the mechanics we have, even the very efficient ones by the way, n'abamanye nnyo. That's why you find that majority of the mechanics that are very good bali myaka 4-5 banga bw'oba tewasomanga tewafuna exposure bw'oba tewasoma theories. I have a university professor bali bamuyita Dani Kisensi ng'agamba nti practice without theory is gambling. Bamakanika abasinga bagambulinga because they don't have theory. Okitegeera, there is a mechanic yakyusako water pump mu moroka yange naye nga water pump si bwe bulwadde nga kayinja ka clutch bwe bulwadde. Okitegeera, kati gwe ne weesanga nti omuntu agambulingira ku mmotoka yo n'oyo mechanic yasiba engineer yange yagambulinga tamanyi butasoma because omuntu bw'atasoma there is something that is bigger than actually what you have been told. Sometimes you need to research. For example, if you go you went to a good graduate school, not undergraduate school, a good undergraduate school, students are taught to research. Nti omusomesa takuwa buli kimu akwako ebimu naga go and research the rest and then do an assignment. Okitegeera kati omuntu agenzeko kweyo level y'okusoma. I'm not saying that ogendeyo kweyo level kyekisinga obukulu, but what I'm trying to say is that omuntu nga mekanika naye nga yakoma mu P7 tomusuubira kusibira yinginiyo etuuke ku level entuufu. There are even tools that are used to measure things like oil pressure. There are tools that are used to measure compression. Naye omuntu atamanyi theories of mechanics tajja kumanya tools ezo gye bazigula, tajja kumanya ngeri gye bazikozesa. Kitegeeza kyakola akozesa bwongo bwe. Kyovulaba nti ebiseera ebimu bakola ebintu ebyo ne bi backfiringa. Okitegeera nzomye yasiba yingini yange yapule mungendo okuddamu okulinnya akasozi ng'ekyatusibisiza yingini ekyakikola. Okitegeera ningamba kakati kiche yakoze. Why I was listening naka break akakubagana so I was trying to listen to see. Anyway, so bamakanika abasinga beetetenkanya, don't overhaul your engine. Ne bw'omulaba nga musajja mukulu ng'alabika ng'amanyi byakola, trust me, abasinga beetetenkanya. Beeyiya, buy a new engine. Okitegeera, ate nayo engine buy from a place that can give you a guarantee oba warranty oba something, because guarantee and warranty bannayuganda tebamanyi bitegeeza. Akuwa buye kale akugambe bwefa mwaka gumu gikomyewo, at least there bw'ogizayo ne bw'aba takuwadde yingini endala akuwa yingini endala at a discount. Era tasobola kuwa yingini empya ng'omulayiza. Okitegeera, one, it's not worth it. Two, bamakanika beetetenkanya. Okitegeera. Three, fenna tukimanyi nti abantu aba-importing ebintu mu Uganda kabeere spare. They import things that are affordable for Ugandans. They don't import the best quality. So kakati bwe tubanga aba-importing amasimu ba-importinga what they can get. Bwe ekikuwa what we call assurance that valve seals ze bagenda oteekamu, that piston rings ze bagenda oteekamu, okitegeera ze nnungi ennyo. N'omuntu importing piston rings ne valve seals era naye agenda ku importinga what he can, the cheapest, so that atunda amazeewo akola amagobadde asuubule. Kazi bubeera obwo bugasket kabibeere biddagala bino byebakozesa bisilicon, ebyo biddagala byebakozesa okusiba parts together. Byonna ebintu byonna abantu ababi-importing, they import what they can get. They don't import the best for you. So ekyo beera ng'okimanyi. That is why in Uganda services are better than products, because most of the products we have in Uganda, they are imported. Okitegeera kyobola abantu bakyali abantu abagamba nti ebintu ebikadde UK used is better than new things because my son bwakola ekintu ekyo omusango noga Aban, why did you do it? Because ngayogera because emirundi miyitirivu paka bw'omwesonyiwa n'otambula n'ovaawo because naye abatamanyi because why he did it. Anyway, the third reason why you should not overhaul your engine is because abantu aba importing a spare gwe bagenda okozesa mu engine yo gye ba overhaulinga is not the best quality. Era bagenda kozesa excuse nga bagamba nti seals zetukozesa ne rings zetukozesa ziri mu grade nze gwengulako yayina ebisinga era ngenda kuteeramu namba emu ne namba emu yaffe ye Uganda teba namba emu. Okitegeera, that's why when you're buying an engine okujja kunga engine ogize mu Toyota Uganda, buy a Japan used engine. Era bw'oba tolina bulungi ssente ogenda bwebakanga ku kyebwayisa oba mu ndeeba n'ogula engine gye bajja mu motoka gye batema kasita mukebera nga engine eyo ki nga namu okusinga eyiyo. Because what you're looking for is you're looking for an engine etanywa oil, or you're looking for an engine etafuwa, you're looking for an engine etokotanga empya. But ideally I would recommend that you get a Japan used engine. Spare yo bagenda oteka mu engine yo. No wonder engine bagisiba nekola emyezi 5 neddamu nekola kiyali ekola nga tebannagisiba. Okitegeera? Why? It's very simple. The spares are fake. Okitegeera kati abasuubuzi waliwo agenda ogamba abasuubuzi mbakuba sibakuba nabo bakimanyi. If you have ever talked to someone that imports things, nammwe abasuubuzi abali wano mukimanyi era akugamba bwe naleeta ebyebbeeyi wadde birungi tebajja kubigula. Okitegeera? So nabo tebakikola mu bubi, temujja bigula oba makanika naye tajja bigula. Ene makanika bwagenda ogula ebintu mu katale, they don't buy the best for you kuba toli mwana wa maama we era naye agula ky'anaalyako ne bwaba waliwo quality ennungi. Okitegeera? I think the people that import quality spares in Uganda probably bayinza kuba ba Mercedes Benz motoka za Germany. Okitegeera? Naye nabo balina mu grade era makanika bwagenda obigula tagula grade esinga, agula ky'anaalyako. Fuel pump ya mitwalo 3 ajja kugula eyabi fake agikuteeremu akulyeko 10 because that's how it works. That's how mechanics work. Okitegeera? Ate culture y'okkuba enjawulo mbi nnyo. Yeah, I constantly tell my mechanic za abantu abange bendeta okuva for the love of cars ku channel yange museerere ba naye mukolere bulungi. Okitegeera? Okusinga okumusaba omutwalo gwa leba oba ebiri gya leba ate omugulire spray ali fake. Era nsubira bw'abakolera. I've not had a complaint from any of you my followers bagenzeyo bakanikira nti oba yakolera ekintu nekifa mangu. Why? It's better akuseerere ba. Okitegeera? Era nze sigenda mu ddwaliro nange eddwaliro nti tebasaba consultation fee kati ye dokita abeera waati. Okitegeera? Kitegeeza dokita alina kubbira ku ddagala bw'oba tomuwadde consultation. You need to pay for the doctor's time and their expertise. Dokita avuga amafuta ge ajje ku kliniki akukonsultingireko bwerere, akwate stethoscope akebera omutima, akwate pressure monitor akumonitoring. Okitegeera? Ariskinga obulamu bwe nga akufumita omusaayi gwe olumu guli mu siriimu nga tafunye consultation fee. Okitegeera? So era ne bamakanika nabo mbagamba era munze makanika because I wish people well. Makanika bwenza tugende lwaki mubba muteke wali akapande nti consultation ku motoka yo okugikebera kwebiri kibere client okebera koka kwa meka kwebiri senga nkebera n'okugamba obulwadde nga toyagala bukola ki bukanika nganzizaawo ng'otuwa ebiri jaffe ng'okola ki ng'ogenda fitting any part on your car. Tumaze okukebera otuwadde ebiri nekugamba nti ekifu ye alternator. Bw'ogula alternator empya gwe gireete bw'oba omanyi gy'ogigula okugifiitinga kwesatu kibere nga kiri client omuntu bajja mu garaji yo n'osumulula n'omufiitingira egyo 5 gigwa naye ng'omuntu akimanyi tojja mubba tojja kukola half baked work because opapa ogenda okule ku motoka endala okubona agenda kuwa mutwalo. Okitegeera? It takes time for people to get used but it works. Naye bakatika baffe baalemwa ate ebyo nabyo biva ku lack of exposure. I'm telling you. Okitegeera? Me, because I've been exposed, I know that there is a class of people that will pay for quality service. Chovola banti nkola pre-purchase inspection ya mitwalo 4 and people pay for that service. Okitegeera? Because bakoyo okubbibwa omuntu yeefula kukolera ku bwerere naye nga bwakubba. Okitegeera? Free things are bad. That's why I keep telling you guys tokozesezanga muntu bwerere ne bwogenda na muganda ogula motoka nga agenda kuwa ku magezi muwe 3 oba muwe 5. Nze sikozeseza muntu bwerere ne bwaba muto wange nga ali wange waka ne tubaako kye tukola ewaka musasula because abakubanga si muganda wange nandibadde musasula. okitegeera. It's free things are bad, okitegeera. Kati tubadde ku point ya spare mubi. Don't overhaul your engine. Ogenda gisiba ekoleyo emyezi 5 olumu n'obutagiweza, okitegeera. Eddemu efe oja bulumba gisiba compression yagaane, okitegeera. Olumba gisiba pressure ya oil egaane, okitegeera. Because olumba gisiba they're supposed to replace the fuel, the oil pump. They will not. Osente ne boziba bajja kuwoza ka oil pump aka kenyini akabadde mbakazeemu, okitegeera. Ideally they should replace the water pump. They will not. Ideally by replacing akatimba ka oil tebajja. Lwaki togula buguza ekintu ekiramu ekipya n'okiteeka mu mmotoka yo n'odda bupya, emmotoka n'ogivuga ne weeyagala. And majority of people that have replaced engines beeyagala. Kitumba Solomon yagula kosa yagigula nga omusajja gwe baagigulako ffe twagula ku musuubuzi yali yakakyusa engine naye yeeyagala lwekyo because engine erimu mpya yeewakisekka. Oli yagigula emiliyoni z'emundoza n'emitwalo nga 8 n'ajjamu ekikadde n'akisuula wali n'atuuzaamu akawanga. That's why that car is really nice, okitegeera. I think the other person yagula ndowooza oba nga engine mpya ali Brian mu Ipsam baali nabo ndowooza bakakyusa. The one thing you should not do is overhaul an engine. Era bwekufaako. That's why I keep telling you, bw'oba ogula emmotoka ya miliyoni 10, make sure osigazzaako akasente. Togula emmotoka ya miliyoni 2 nga ku account kubaddeko 2 ate n'ozeemalako. Because nobody cares what type of car you drive. Okitegeera. At the end of the day, emmotoka bw'eneefa ku kkubo ne bw'oba obadde otutteko omuntu ajja kukuleka walinnya boda yeeyongereyo ng'efudde ng'ekulemeredde. So buy a car you can afford. The engine wefa, you can actually replace an engine. Gearbox wefa, you can buy another gearbox n'ogiteekako. Okitegeera. Kwegamba weeyagala ng'emipiira bwe giggwako osobola okugissaako. Okitegeera. The reason why we are having this conversation is because there are people that have been convinced still that overhauling an engine is cheaper than buying a new engine. It's not. In the short term, it seems like it's cheap, but in the long run, the cheaper thing is always to buy a new thing. Okitegeera. It's always to buy a new thing. Ekirungi nti engine yogenda oteekamu ate tegenda kuba brand new ziri fake China. I remember when we were buying the RAV4, because mu pichipichi waliyo pichipichi engine za China MB. So ono guy yajja ne muganda avuga boda muganda namugamba mu engine za boda waliyo fake. Watu waitumbalidde ekintu mulene emmotoka RAV4 million oba bali manguza RAV4 million 16. Batumubalidde, you buy this RAV4 at 9 million and then you can buy a new engine akawanga at 2.5 okateeke mbubo yagala engine mpya. So 2.5 ozigata ku 9 million oba okozesa million 11 n'ekitundu bw'ogattamu leba w'abantu mitwalo nga 2 million oba okozesa less money than buying a new kuba n'eri million 16 engine yali nfu. But because people have it in their mind that RAV4 zezo bazikola ki baziseera, that's why he was ready to pay 16 million for a RAV4 with a bad engine. Nenne mugamba, instead of buying a RAV4 of 16 million with a bad engine, buy this RAV4 9 million, buy a new engine gituuseemu, still ojja kuba tokozesa even 12 million. Naye ng'ate emmotoka ojja kuba ogizizza bupya. Okitegeera. Naye munne ng'amugamba bajja kukuguza engine eri fake. But there are no fake engines. There are only bad engines mu mmotoka. So he bought that car 9 million. Naye nkimanyi ta replacing an engine because the next at that very day tumaze okusasula emmotoka n'aleeta makaniko okuva ewaabwe Soroti. Kati simanyi kikyatuuka kuba makanika b'e Soroti abo tebatera kuba balungi. Ekyalo kyonna teri makanika mulungi. Any good mechanic setting a garage mu kibuga, I'm telling you, Kampala, because you wasinga emmotoka ennyingi, you'll find that wetuba tuyina emmotoka emitwalo 11 mu Uganda, emmotoka emitwalo 9 giri Kampala. Kati gwe tosobola kuŋŋamba nti gwe oli makanika mulungi nnyo nga tolina contracts. Let's say you have a garage in Soroti nga waliyo NGOs nga 10. Nga ku NGOs 10 you have contracts with the 5 NGOs. That's understandable. Era beyo bamakanika bojja osanganga ate nabo ebiseera ebimu tebaba balungi nnyo. They are replacers. Era wabaawo ebigaane bayita bamakanika okuva e Kampala because the mechanics in Kampala are exposed to many problems. That's why you find that a mechanic in Kampala can actually ne bwaba teyasoma nnyo aba amanyi okusinga ow'omukyalo. Okitegeera. Don't overhaul your engine. It's cheap to buy a new engine. Go with a mechanic ogende akebere engine gy'ogenda okugula, but always make sure you buy a car that has paperwork. What? Because when you buy a new engine, you're supposed to go to URA and update that information. Era bajja kusaba empapula za engine eyo gy'otadde mu mmoloka yo. Era you'll have to take the car for inspection. Then by updating that information, don't just change an engine when olowooza oluwomaze. That's why you should not buy an engine that has no paperwork. Buy an engine ng'erina paperwork kwe importing nti yasasula n'omusolo and all that. Era URA ojja bba wayondoza emitwalo 10. You put 100,000 in the bank, and then you go take the car for inspection by inspecting, then they update that information in the system. Very simple. The same thing happens with size and then engine. Let's say your car was supposed to be 13, was supposed to have tire size 13 inch, and then you want to put 15 inch. You need to go to URA and tell them I would like to change my car and put 15 size 15 on my car. I don't know if I make sense. The same thing happens when you're going to change what's that thing? Akayumba ko tebakkiriza kakyusa. Tebakkiriza kukyusa kayumba. Okitegeera. Kati waliwo n'abasajja abakyusa shape z'emmotoka. It's known everywhere that a Toyota Regius is a van. Kati gwe inspector wa URA ogenda munnyonnyola ki nga ayimiriza ogudde mu kiddo nga gwoyina Toyota Regius nga it's a pickup. What are you going to tell that inspector? Mboro okuba lockdown bali bakkiriza pickup okutambula n'ensalawo nfune grinder nze nsale emmoloka yange ngifule pickup. Okitegeera? Under the law that's not allowed because that's a different chassis. Your chassis, era wakebera chassis number mu system and your chassis number is a van nga gwoyina pickup, automatically they will impound that car. And if you remember very well, so many people changed their cars to pickups during the lockdown. Ngosanga omuntu nga alina starlet nga agifudde pickup. It's not allowed because that chassis is supposed to be, let's say, a hatchback. Gwe ng'ogifudde a pickup, it's not allowed. Anyway, to them overhauling the engine, it's not worth it. Okitegeera, every engine gwe baba ogenda gula super custom soka weebuuze engine empya ya super custom ya meka tabo ya sente meka, because I understand tabo ya super custom ya $1.1 engine senge kubako eri bagira mu $12 but I'm imagine that's a full engine nekati akawango hizo kusanga $9. Ask yourself, I'm buying this super custom 27 million. Do I have 9 million to replace an engine in case it dies? Do I have 1.5 million to buy a turbo in case it dies? Or if you don't have it in cash, can you raise it when you need to raise it? But then, if you cannot raise it, because there are easier cars that are still vans, like the Toyota Nua. Ujja kusanga engine ya Nua so replacing at like 4 million. Okitegeera ng'ate Nua esobola okukola omulimu gwe gumu ne super custom. I don't know if I make sense. So instead of buying cars that will force you to overhaul them, buy cars that you can actually afford should the engines fail, should the gearboxes fail. Buy a car that you can afford to buy new parts for. Okitegeera tuleme gula moroka zina tulemerera makanika batandika okutuba, because trust me, moroka, I'll give you an example. Diesel cars are very complicated. Bagisiba compression negana ne bagiddamu ne bagisumula ate no makanika tasaasira makanika buli lwasumula emmoloka gwoyina ebirala byojjogula, because ajagisiba mulundi ogusooka the compression will refuse akugambe antu agisibye shafta twagisaze naye shafta tegisobola yingini nene ku kashafta katulina okugula shafta bakugambe shafta ya $3 million. Kati jukira otadde $5 million ez'okusiba kati baagala kuguza shafta ya $3 million ezo si 8. Kati lwaki tewakwata bukwasi $9 million n'ogula yingini endala? I don't know if I make sense, guys. I'm imagining that I should be making sense already why you should not overhaul an engine. Okitegeera, it's always a better thing gwe n'ogula engine endala n'ogituuza mu mmoloka. You can go ku kyebwayise emmoloka ezigwa ku accident zibeerayo naye nga yagudde ku accident naye nga engine ekyalinnamu, gearbox ekyalinnamu. Okitegeera, and you just go nobagamba kamba wekino ekyange ekifu because baba basobola okitunda mu scrap mbongereyo akasente nga ne wesanga engine gye waliguze $1 million eri wano ogiguze $1 million nga 4 naye nga nnamu. Okitegeera, but ideally ekyo kikola nga obwavu bukuluma naye nga ate emmoloka erina okukola, but ideally gituuze kyokka mbagamba there are cars that you buy naye nga wali badde ogigula ng'olinayo akamoloka akatonotono. Okitegeera, for example you buy that super custom naye ng'olinayo ka Corolla. If should the super custom die, osooka n'ogiparkinga n'oginoonyeza sente za engine bw'oba tozirina n'ogira ng'ovuga kakorolako okitegeera. So ideally bw'obanga oli muntu wa mmotoka nnene nga gw'oyagala Mercedes Benz cross country, nga gw'oyagala BMW X7, nga gw'oyagala Mazda ziri CX, nga oyagala kweganga oli muntu wazi SUV, because most SUVs their engines okutandika okugigula etandikira mu miliyoni 10 kwambuka waggulu baba balamula. So instead of buying that Kobe era yewaka nga gy'olina yokka nga tonnagigula, sooka oguleyo akamotoka akatono nga ka Alex oba gulayo Wish ebiri weewaka, kati then weetetenkanye ogule ki cross country kyo okiteeke weewaka. Nga ki cross country senga kifa engine ne bagamba miliyoni 2 engine, osooka n'okiparkinga okiteera n'ogira ng'ovuga ka Wish ko okitegeera. Kati ofuna miliyoni 2 ezigula engine eri n'ogigula n'ogituuzaamu. So don't buy cars that you cannot afford to replace parts for, otherwise bagenda kubba. Makanika yetafiirwa mu kusiba engine, tafiirwa, yajja kugisiba as many times as possible. Bw'eneemulema era bw'eneemulema togenda mukuba migo, bw'eneemulema ogenda kuleeta breakdown, otikke emmotoka yo twale mu lujja ewuwo, because that's what happens. Emmotoka zonna zonna zirema bamakanika tolina kyojja mukola, ayiganye ajja kugamba eganye bigaana. Ate abamakanika bayina engombo, makanika tasobya, makanika tayonoona. Ne bwayonoona ekintu ng'okiraba. There is a time nali ngenda bweru nga nyina ebiseera nali nvuga Kaldina, mutuufu sente zenabadde nsigazaamu nazitaddemu mafuta. Ne bamakanika bajja baatule yange ku mmotoka bagende bajampinga emmotoka endala. Omusiru abazza baatule ku mmotoka n'agatta ready ku body, that positive terminal, okitegeera, distributor neekuba. Naye ng'omwana akoze ekintu ekyo tayina na sente zigula distributor ali ya mitwalo 10 nga nange sina sente. Mmotoka nagirekawo neninya taxi yange netwala ku airport nga n'amafuta ngalese mu mmotoka emitwalo ndoza gyali wa 12 gye nali ntaddemu, neninya taxi yange nengenda ku airport. So what am I saying? Nti these mechanics ne bwaba akufaako their limits, tajja kuteera sente mu engine ne bwana akugamba nti they can overhaul it. Bw'eneemulema ejja kuba emulemye. That's why you find that hospitals, even the best hospitals, have mortuaries. Nti doctor, even the best doctors lose patience. Okitegeera, ne bakugamba nti oyo consultant emulago yasinga era waliwo ekimulema, okitegeera, because tewaliyo crack ya bwongo nga bwolaba abantu bwe bapiratinga software n'apiratinga DaVinci oba n'apiratinga Premiere Pro, okitegeera, tewali kupiratinga bwongo. Obwongo buyina we n'amagezi go, ebintu by'omanyi buyina we bikoma. Ate you know, most Ugandans don't like to research. Probably I think that's why you lose a lot of patients in Ugandan hospitals, because doctor agala asigale ku kyamanyi, ate because most people bagala kulya bokka ne byatamanyi tajja kuyita bantu balala kukola ki, kubeebuuzaako oba bamuyambeko. Kyobola nti abalwadde bafiira mu kiliniki nga ka kiliniki kalina doctor omu, okitegeera, omulwadde n'afiira mu ka clinic naye nga the only thing that doctor had to do was call another doctor ajje consulting on that issue. You see why hospitals like when you go to hospitals like Kadik, why their bills are always high? It's a simple thing. Their bills are high because doctor tafiira ku mulwadde. Bw'aba tamanyi, they call another consulting doctor and they charge you for that. Okitegeera, they charge you for that. Okitegeera, naye bu clinic buno amalwaliro agatera okutta ennyo abantu, they don't doctor aba ayagala kukola ku balwadde be yekka, they don't like to invest. Jebalesebo kale, you get what I'm saying? So it's important for you to understand that mechanics have limits and they will stop there. Gearbox yo bwefa noonya sente ezigula gearbox endala, tebakulima nti bajja kugikanikamu eterere era ejja kukola yebbanga lyenaakola yo eddemu ekole ki, eddemu efe. Eyo gearbox ogiraba nga bweri, gwefuna anagikanikamu agigule, yagenda agikanikemu agise mu mmoloka ye, because you'll find that the mechanic is telling you nti agenda kukanikira mu gearbox emitwalo 8. Naye when you go to the market, a new gearbox is 2 million over 1.5. Why a gearbox at 800? Nga you're not even, because the bagaba guarantee ba mechanic. Don't overhaul anything. Bino bibagama musimanya hydraulic pump a food day. So yes, the hydraulic pump is dead. makanika takugamba naye bagikanikamu ebyawa. The only things that I've seen that byebakanikamu nebiterera self starter bagikanikamu because it has those replacement parts. Then alternator bagikanikamu neterera. Sibi ebyolowooza ne bwe busiri na master cylinder zino mbo bagende batekemu obupiira ekolayo katono. Buy a new cylinder. Ebintu ebisinga mu motoka muno it's better to just replace. Tebakulima nti bakanikamu. Waliwo buno obutambi obubeera mu ngombe wano mu steering ow'engombe. Tebakugamba nti omusajja agenda kanika mu lutambi olwo. Genda ogula akantu akaroba mitwalo 8 katuuzeemu vuga motoka yo with peace. In peace I mean. Okitegeera. So today's conversation, don't overhaul an engine, don't overhaul a gearbox. Basically, don't overhaul anything you have money to buy and replace. Replacement is always better. Replacement is always better. Engine, gearbox, alternate abagikolamu neterera bosanga omuntu omulungi. Alternate abagikolamu self starter abagikolamu. Okitegeera. Tosanga omuntu agamba nti simanyi water pump ngenda gikolamu agikolemu biki. Buy a new water pump gitekemu. Okitegeera. Tosanga omuntu nakugamba nti agenda kanika mu bagita batya master cylinder. Go buy a new master cylinder, put it in your car weeyagale. Tosanga omuntu nakugamba mbu radio y'emmotoka tugenda buy a new radio gitekemu. It's cheap, it's expensive in the short run but very economical in the long run. Okitegeera. Osanga omuntu akugambe nti AC pump tujja kugikolamu. In my experience now, I've seen like 3 cases. AC pump eba ya bei naye kunganya sente ogule AC pump endala ogikole ki ogitekemu. Bamanyi okuzikolamu naddala ezo ez'ebbeeyi naye ekolayo katono neekola ki neddamu neefa. Okitegeera. Bino ebipeesa by'okunzigi mbu simanya bakikole mugule ekirala Japaani gye bayita Japaani oba original gye bajje ku mmotoka oteekemu. Tebajja gikolamu ekole ki. I'm trying to figure out what other things that cannot be repaired on a car so that we know. But on top of the engine, there are so many other things that you should not be repairing. Gula buguzi. Buno busimanya buno pump bw'amazzi buno obukuba those pumps obukuba amazzi ku ndabirwamu. Mbwa waliwo mwana abukola akakolamu ngaani. Okitegeera. Tebakulimba, that's wasting money. Okitegeera. So we have concluded by saying don't ever overhaul an engine. Buy a new engine. Don't overhaul a gearbox. Buy a new gearbox. Tebakulima nti waliwo makanika wa gearbox oli. Okitegeera. Owawa. Okitegeera. Nga n'abazungu bennyini kati they replace. They don't overhaul. Okitegeera nga ate spare tulaga tumujjeeri. Kati omujapani ye bwennyini bw'abanga a replacing a gearbox. Ejapani gye bali badde baga kuba balina buli kimu naye nabo ba replacing. Kati gwe Kampala weweefuula omugezi nti engine eyange ngenda gisiba tosiba engine. Togamba saa kugamba. Thank you very much for being part of this broadcast today. But nyina comments zisibize. Nyina comments mbadde sirayi bambi. Kanzisomemu bannange mu nsonyiwe. What you are explaining is called a long block. Long block isn't a complete engine. Research about bare block, short block, long block, complete engine. Then you find they have put for you a non-genuine parts. Exactly. Greeting everyone. Most technician mechanics don't clearly understand what they do. Guys don't even have basic tools like torque wrench for proper torque specs, especially engine work. Munange. Kati arandoza gwana akola garage neba nebyo ebintu. Buying a replacement like you recommend is better. For sure, all parts are aftermarket parts. How are you, Mr. Arthur? I've been your follower for a while, but I was offline on question Friday. Allow me to ask you this. You have been abroad ago. Compare working abroad and for your home country. Personally, kakati nze nagenda abroad nagenda on contract. That's the thing. So I would have a contract and I'm just going to perform because I'm a performer. And I'll have a performance, for example, let's say March 10th, nenga ngenda March 1st or March 5th, for example, nembera ina kubidding as a rehearsal. Then I perform 10th, performance yang wegwa ku 10th, the next day 11th in Banko Mao. So ideally, I would not be a very good person to compare working here and working abroad Personally I find that Uganda wano bw'oba mugezi Uganda wano sente nyangu za kukola naye ate ne sente Uganda zidduka mangu ebweru eyo skilled workers like Jeke nga bw'omulaba nti Jeke is a mechanical engineer. Skilled workers make more money than the guys that are here. Okitegeera Nedith. But for people that are not skilled, era ebweru osobola okukola sente nga nnyingi k'okusingako wano naddala nga tomanyi kutetenkanya nnyo. Okitegeera. But ideally omuntu omutetenkanya nga ayina discipline ndaba nga Kampala wangu wakukolera sente. Because I've seen many more people that have gone abroad in Uganda. Okitegeera. So it depends. If you're a skilled worker, you can make a lot of money. Let's say you come from here and you are a lawyer. Now you have the qualifications to do law and you start practicing there. You'll make more money. Let's say you come from this place and of course, there are professions that make a lot of money, like doctors, like nurses, okitegeera. In my field, for example, a marketer that is certified by the CIM, Chartered Institute of Marketing, I'm certified. A certified marketer can work anywhere, and they'll make good money because of mobile levels. If I'm at level 7, for example, and also, of course, looking at my credentials, where have I worked, what have I achieved, and all that, I'd make a lot of money, much more than what I would make in Uganda. But also, if I am a CIM, I'm a chartered marketer, and I work in Uganda, still I'd make a lot of money. Because chartered marketers in Uganda make as much as 30 million a month. They make a lot of money here. So, omuntu alina qualifications in Uganda, now you have a good network, now you work for good organization in Uganda, you make money. But the advantage that being in Uganda gives you is peace. You know home is best. Home is best. It's just that their professions in Kampala tewali mirimu. Katola nga Jeke mechanical engineer. When Kampala osobola okusanga mechanical engineer nga struggling. Naye nga ate bw'agenda ebweru agaggawala in like 5 years. That's the thing. But there are professions here where you can make money. Accountants here can make a lot of money. Lawyers here can make a lot of money. Naddala ng'oli mugezi. Naye nga ate accountant bw'ogenda UK osobola okustrugglingamu. Lawyer bw'ogenda UK osobola okustruggle. Naye wano e Kampala bw'oba lawyer ng'oli mugezi. Okola sente. Yeah, but I think JK at I worked in Uganda for a while, and I have also worked abroad for a while as well. If one is great at hustling and has capital, Uganda is great, but making good money off salary, Europe is way better. Exactly, JK. I think it was a point. Some qualifications are not that transferable. A lawyer in Uganda wouldn't work here. Exactly, JK. I think your first point, that omuntu e Uganda nga hustler nga inaneka capital. Okitegeera Uganda is better than going abroad. Okitegeera kyovula omuntu nga toli hustler nga totetenkanya e Kampala vaayo gende kyovula nti ebiseera ebisinga abantu bandika daama okitegeera e Kampala waba waganye buganyi nga buli kimu kiganye. That's when you would go abroad. Naye bw'oba okola center. I used to have a friend of mine yalina omudaala gwa chapati ebwayise nga akola emitwalo 5 olunaku, and I'm talking about like 2000 this is 2015 nga akola emitwalo 5 olunaku. Do you know what it means? Profit, by the way, nga expenses zonna azijjeko nga abaana abamukolera bonna abasasudde nga akola emitwalo emeka nga akola emitwalo 5. Nangamba muganda wange yangambye ngende Dubai nsomanya nsome IT simanya ngenda funa emirimu. Namugamba naye hello, how are you? Nemugamba naye gwomanyi ekitegeeza okukola emitwalo 5 nga magoba olunaku nga ateje emitwalo 5 agikola nga teyeetaaga na kubeerawo nga abaana be bakola. Okitegeera n'agamba ataka ngende ngezeko ndoza omuzimu gw'okulinnya ennyonyi gwali gumutisse n'alinnya n'agenda n'amalayo omwaka gumu n'ekitundu. Amazima agenda okudda ng'eri byagana. He got depressed n'ayagala ndoza n'okwetta. Okitegeera. So wano bw'oba ng'olina ka capital ng'olina w'otudde ng'osobola okukola sente, it's just simple mathematics. If the mathematics adds up, I'm academically gifted but not much of a hustler. That's why I chose here, because one gets work and promotion on merit. Exactly, JK. Bw'oba nga e Kampala nga toli hustler, kati wano e Kampala salaried jobs are not good. Tosobola kunkozesa maani, tosobola kunkozesa. The one job I tried nakolayo omwezi gumu ne mugamba omanyi nsobola okukola nga consultant naye nze okuntuuza wano ntuuza wano Monday to Friday for a full month. Kati emirimu gya employment noza abakyala be bayinza okugisobola. Mukyala wo n'omufunira omulimu n'agenda n'atuula eyo ne bamukozesa. But nze ndi hustler, okitegeera, I'm a hustler. I can take risk because nkimanyi nsobola okufiirwa million 10 omwezi guno, omwezi ogujja ne nkola 3, okitegeera. So I have that hustle spirit in me, okitegeera. Naye nga ate I wasn't really academically gifted like ever. I'm not academically gifted nga JK bwali, but JK is academically gifted. Ate ayinza okubanga you're very efficient when you do your work. Sicho JK so kati Europe obosobola because it's merit. Tebiri mugamba n'ogu, tebiri musimanya boss akwagala nnyo, tebiri mu politics ona ali e Kampala omunje nnyo, okitegeera. So ndoza Nedith ndoza ofunye answer yo, okitegeera. Hi Arthur, hi Seth, long time. Paul, good evening. Paul, that's why I will go for VITS Platts fan cargo or visitor with VVTI. Exactly. Obo motoka bwangu bwa kugira. Nti neno engine yeri muno solo jija muno jiza mu VITS, wano jiza mu Platts, wano jiza yeri mu fan cargo by the way. But visitor is 1.8. Martha is saying that we were born corrupt. Munange. JK has said mechanics here. By the way, Ataman JK is in Denmark, so he's talking about Denmark. Mechanics here do service and replacement. They hardly repair anything. Exactly. Kati bali abazungu abatusinga okumanya baba bakola replacement gwe wefulo mugezi mbosiba yinjini mubiveeko namwe kati togula muroka jota sobola. I have a friend who works at immigration but makes at least 30 million a month. Corruption is too much and that's how she gets money. Kati ye hustle boboli hustler osobola okukola mu ministry ya government n'okola sente okusinga omuntu ali e Bulaaya. Okitaya atenga 30 million za bagamba ko JK. 30 million ateeka okuba azikola ngezo, that is take home. That is take home. Nga amaze okulya, amaze okugula amafuta mu mmotoka. Guys, I have to go. Thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. Pascal Joseph, JK Mwebarekera, Charles, Martha, Uthman Sozi, Mark BZ, Stuart, Mr. Cafero, how are you? Kanswiro listed the Cranma, Alan ngala jogenda jiteekawa. Sekanja nyalize nengula ne shares, by the way. Alan nandize nengula shares. Paul Banalia, Nedith, Seth banange Seth obuze. Yeah, thank you very much. Namwe abali mu Kamori, I don't take it for granted. I don't take your data and time for granted because no kutulo obutuzo. Yes, the tire, that one I gave them to you. So abali mu Kamori, I don't take it for granted. Namwe abadaba video boboli mujira ba later on than the day I did the live broadcast and you're watching it probably 2 days, a week, a month, a year afterwards. I don't take it for granted. I'd like to remind you, I do pre-purchase inspection. That's how I keep alive. That's how I buy the data here. Because we do not record live broadcast in a minimum of 1.5 GB of data. We broadcast. We don't want to broadcast 1.5 GB. When I upload the video about 800 MBs, about 800 MBs when I upload. But when I do a live broadcast, it's about 1.5 GB. How do I keep these things going? Some of those sales, pre-purchase inspection, data, then kwekubanti nsobola okutunda tracking device bompa tracking device amtwala 3.5 nefisaka kasente nsolo gula data bujja n'ogula ka alarm system nefisaka kasete nezija n'ensolo gula data bujja n'ompa marketing the marketing job, because remember I do marketing consultancy for you guys abalina business entono ngekutanya. By the way guys, stop struggling with business nga tomanyi kigenda maaso tangoloza bakuloga. Sometimes your business is not working out because poor marketing practices. Anyway guys, I have to go. I hope your Sunday has been good. I hope I've tried to make it even better. Omanyi mbulamu ogezangako nnyo kubanga abantu abali mbulamu you try to make their life a little better. Yeah, don't do what you would not want your kids to do at your age. Be responsible because it's a weekend. Don't drink and drive. Put a rubber on if you go with someone that you don't trust, because my God, empeke ya buli lunaku ng'emenya. Okitegeera. Ate nno mu bitwalanga ebyokusaaga olunaku lwe bakugamba nti olina ekiwuka, tolaba nti omusana gwajjera ojja gulaba nga gwa bbulu. Ekiwuka. Oh, there is a story. I'll tell you one time, that story of a chick I took for HIV test. This story yali nzibu maani. Anyway, guys, I wish you a very good evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Mukama akuume.